Welcome back to the channel. And today we got some big time. Finally, the lockout's over. uh, as it says in this article, 99 days. A 99-day stalemate. 99 days of hell. But yeah, today we're gonna go over the new rules and just overall stuff that they agreed to through the new CBA. And yeah, I mean, basically, I think there were definitely some times where at the beginning it was all on the owners for not negotiating anything and leaving early in the meetings if they didn't like anything. But then it was on the players, literally, for declining a good offer. And it's like, every day was like, just freaking agree to something. Like, I'm like, I don't care if you take away, like, I don't care, like, what rules you agree to. Just agree to something, please. Every day we were getting false hope from John Heyman or Bob and Jeff Passan or Passan or whatever, how you pronounce his last name. He got hacked. He got hacked too. He got hacked too, and that was great. But yeah, we're just gonna go over some new rules that they and just react to them and see how it could affect the league in any way. Or before we get into that, though, make sure you leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and let's get right into it. Okay, so general gameplay rules for the 2022 season. The National League will adopt a designated hitter. Thank God.
Same.
Been waiting for this for a long time. We had it for the 2020 season, and then they took it away. But we've been waiting for this consistently for a long time. We had it for 1 year, and then they took it away, and then it was back to original stuff, and I was like, oh God.
Yeah, it was needed. It was time for both the American League and National League to have it.
For the 2023 season, the pitch clocks will be used. There will be a ban of defensive shifts. An automatic ball/strike zone will exist, and there will be a larger bases. So interesting. Pitch clocks, I don't know. It depends on how they'll use that, like how long, like, and also what the penalty is if they don't. I don't know. That needs to be explained a little more. Ban of defensive shifts. I don't know I didn't know how to feel about that, because I kind of feel like it took away a little bit of strategy from the game. But then at the same time, I was thinking, like, anything to get a season, I don't care.
Yeah, that's where I was at.
Larger bases don't make sense, but whatever, cool.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to see more on the larger bases, but I didn't really understand much about that, so whatever, I guess. And pitch clock, I'm kind of like, okay, I can kind of see the reason for that. I mean, sometimes pitchers take like minutes before they finally throw the next pitch. And that can be really annoying at times. So
Yeah.
I can kind of see why they do that. And the shift, I don't know. I mean, it's not the worst thing in my opinion, but whatever.
Po-
Whatever. We got a season. That's all I care at this point.
Postseason rules. We got a postseason will expand to 12 teams, and there will be no man on second base to start extra innings. Wait, is this just for the postseason? Oh
No,
god.
I didn't get that rid of period.
Okay, I was gonna say because it was listed under postseason rules, but yeah, 12 teams expanded, and thank God for this being eliminated. It's interesting. I wish we had it last year because then we would have a bye, but whatever. Or we technically did, but I don't know.
I
Um,
actually don't mind the 12 teams. I 14 I think would become too much, but I think 12 is actually kind of perfect. Still gives you plenty of opportunity to make the playoffs, but doesn't oversaturate it either.
yeah, because if they would have went to 14, then we would have been like, let's have every team make the damn playoffs, and we'll have October Madness.
Yeah.
Um, Draft rules. A draft lottery will be implemented to discourage tanking in order to prohibit service time manipulation. Draft picks will be included.
Good,
Other,
I guess.
yeah, I was gonna skip that. Nobody
Yeah,
watches
honestly.
the damn draft.
MLB draft is kind of random with prospects. Some of them turn out to be great, some of them not so much. So,
The only people that watch the draft are the players being drafted and their families. That's it.
and a select few that actually do really care.
Yeah. Other rules implemented for the first time, player uniforms will feature advertising, including patches on jerseys and decals and batting helmets. The number of times a player can be optioned to the minor leagues in one season will be limited. The 2023 schedule will be more balanced as teams will play at least one series against every opponent in both leagues.
I actually love that. It gives more opportunity for other stars like a Mike Trout now to come to a city like Milwaukee, and it also makes division games I think more like intense too, because you won't have as many games against them, which means that makes them a lot more vital to win.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Why are changes being placed for the 2022 season? Uh, Over the past 4 years, players' salaries have dropped despite their growth in revenues. The franchise value is rising. Yada yada yada. Yeah, I think that is it. But we can kind of like
Well,
um
they raise minimum salaries and stuff.
the shift. The shift prohibits the line drives and sharp ground balls. So in order to increase balls in play, hits and base runners, a ban of defensive shifts was proposed. Okay. Additionally, the pitch clock was proposed to improve the pace of play, which is actually a pretty good idea. It would it would discourage the pitcher from stepping off the rubber and then shortening at bats. Or and shorten at bats. Okay.
Yeah, the player's compensation for minimum salary will increase to 700,000 this year, and with an annual increase of 20,000 each of the following 4 seasons. And also, minor league minimum salary for players on a second major league contract or a previous major league service time will increase to 114,000 in 2022, 117,400 in 2023, 120,600 in 2024, 123,900 in 2025, and 127,100 in 2026. And also a 50 million bonus pool will be implemented for pre-arbitration eligible players who reach certain awards or statistical benchmarks. So, like if you finish top 5 in MVP or Cy Young voting or Top two in rookie of the year voting in place on the first or second All MLB team will receive set amounts from the bonus pool. And there's more. Her main bonus pool amount after award winners receive their distribution will be allocated to the top 100 pre-arbitration eligible players is determined by a statistical formula. The formula will be modeled after wins above replacement. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. And finally, larger bases would make base stealing easier and more common. The stealing of a base has become less and less frequent because
And
of
they
it.
raised the competitive balance tax threshold. They did a lot of stuff or some things on that I know as well.
Yeah. And also with the stealing bases, it's the stealing of a base has become less and less frequent because of replay rules. So increasing the size of the base would at least make the act more compelling. I guess I didn't think about that. If it can help replay, but they need to figure out that on a separate
Mm.
date.
Yeah, they also got uh, the league and players union have until July 25th, 2022 to agree to implement an international draft beginning with the 2024 season. If an agreement is reached to implement an international draft, teams will no longer forfeit a draft pick for signing qualified free agents beginning with the 2022-23 offseason. If no agreement on the international draft is reached, then the current system will remain in place and draft pick compensation will remain in effect. I guess what's your opinion on that? I know we don't really care about drafting, but this would, however, get rid of the qualifying offer, which I guess what's your opinion on that if they do go through with it?
Um, eh, I think the qualifying offer isn't a bad thing. Maybe just because like let's say like you have like a star hitting the market, like a Trevor Story or like anyone, they can tender the qualifying offer and try to reach an agreement on a long term deal. Maybe like kind of keeping big time players in small markets. Like if you can tender the qualifying offer and then they can somehow agree to like a long term deal that can benefit both sides or something like that. I don't know. I haven't really had much of an opinion on the qualifying offer.
Yeah, the same thing. Even though I always thought it was kind of dumb that teams lose draft picks just to sign free agents. I always thought that was kind of dumb, but that's kind of the reason why I hope they do an international draft because then they can get rid of that qualifying offer and then they can actually then I feel like that might speed up free agency more, but whatever.
I guess, yeah, that could also be a good benefit too. I just never had really a opinion about a qualifying offer like, oh, it should never have been a thing, or oh, I love it, why are they going to get rid of it, like I never been on each side of those arguments. But I guess if it would increase the speed of free agency, that'd be a nice thing to um that'd be nice because then players can sign faster because holy hell, the year that Bryce Harper and Manny Machado signed those contracts, they almost waited until opening day.
Yeah, I remember that. That was pretty crazy.
It's like, why? Why wait? Just sign. But yeah, it's whatever. I think the rule changes are interesting. Like you said earlier, you said the new CBA is in effect until 2026, right?
Yeah, December 1st of 2026 is how it lasts for. So for 5 more seasons,
Okay.
which that'll be interesting to see once we get to that time. But obviously, as of right now, I'm not going to worry about that. That's 5 years from now.
Yeah, exactly.
You
And
enjoy the baseball that we got seasons for at least another for this year and another like 4 to 5 more after at least.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, there's I think they I think both sides reached a fair agreement for what they wanted. I mean, it took a long time because both sides were being greedy. That in the beginning, the owners and MLB weren't really talking,
hmm But
which was
I
kind
mean,
of like
well,
why. And then when they were in Florida, they had a
yeah,
six,
Jeter.
16-hour day and they didn't get an agreement done. And it's like, why not just stay in a room until you can figure something out? But then they dicked around and went to New York.
Yeah, that went for like another week, and then they actually agreed on something. I was kind of shocked. I was starting to think the players were going to turn it down, and we weren't going to have anything for a while. But I'm glad they got together and agreed.
Yeah,
I thought we weren't going to have an agreement until at least like May.
that would have hurt.
But hey, I'm glad they agreed on something. Now we got like pretty much a full season. And honestly, I actually like most of the new rules. I think the expanded playoffs isn't as bad as some people make it out to be. The DH, I think, was definitely needed. And I think there's other areas too, like the new schedule next year. That's going to be actually pretty cool. That opens up a lot more opportunities for people like myself that want to see a guy like a Mike Trout. That wasn't really as possible because of how it was set up. Now the odds of seeing something like that is a lot more likely. I think that's good for the game.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of positives in these rules and definitely trying to change how you know the game is. And I didn't think about it until I read the bottom of the page, but larger bases can help reviews, and so that way stealing bases aren't like reviewed and then terrible calls keep happening. I don't know. They probably still will, but you never know until you see. And uh, I really don't have an opinion on the draft lottery because, like we said, that doesn't really matter. We don't watch the draft, but
Yeah, but it's whatever. I mean, I actually like a lot of the new stuff they had. I think it's was needed. Having 12 teams, I think, is perfect. No, you got plenty of teams to make it, but I don't think it oversaturates it either. DH was definitely needed in the National League, and also just other things too. I actually like a lot of it.
yeah, same here. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it. Make sure you leave your opinions in the comment section below what you think, and like this video, subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.